In the previous lesson, we worked a little bit with the revolve modeling in Blender and using geometry nodes. So this is something we can do in other 3D software as well, but we can arrange it also using geometry nodes, and mainly we work with curves. And depending on which profile we use and which path we use, we can use a circular classic path, and then we can use also other paths. We can get other types of shapes. And we can also use some sort of twist by working with the parameters, so we can create like different types of objects. Now, in this video, we are going to explore more about geometry nodes. We're going to talk a little bit of creating frames and panels, so meaning to define some sort of structure in our object. Now, I'm going to start with this object, which is a twisted vase we created in the previous lesson. And I want to put a box around it, just to show you that we can use other tools to generate like meshes from other meshes, and then we can reuse them for other reasons. So I'm going to select this, and in here I have some extra nodes, so I'm going to delete this, and this is the output. So in this line we have the final result from the previous video. So I'm going to go to add, and we saw how we can use attributes. We discover a little bit of the inputs. So we have constants, and then we have gizmos, import. We can get things from the scene. Then we have outputs like the viewer or the group. And in the geometry, we understand now that we can read some information, or we can write. So we can put some information inside a specific value or attribute. And then we have operations, geometry operations. And here we saw the bake. The next one is going to be bounding box. Now we're going to see a little bit of this. So we're going to see bounding box, convex hull. First of all, we already saw like merge distance and transform geometry. So we already know a little bit about this. Also, we saw join geometry and geometry to distance, etc., etc. So we are heading towards the end of the lessons. So I'm going to go here and select bounding box, and I'm going to put it right here. And what it does, it basically create a box. And inside that box will be my object. Well, actually, right now, it has been totally replaced by this bounding box. So if I go into wireframe, you can see there's nothing in there. So it's taking everything we have done, basically, and is disrupting it and making it just a simple box. But we can also maintain both. So let's do like Shift-A, and add a join geometry. So I'm gonna put it here, and I'm gonna take also the other geometry. Okay, now we have both, but the other geometry is like inside there, a little bit hidden. So there you go. We can see it only with the wireframe. Now, what if we wanna create a wireframe, or as I said, a structure here, like for some sort of packaging, or essentially we wanna create some framing around this object. So in that case, we can see another really important tool we can use, which is together with the extrusion. So when we extrude mesh, we also have other options that we're gonna see. Okay, if I do it normally, it's gonna do this. So it's going to just extrude each single face. And well, if I go backward, I already have some sort of frame, but then I need to merge some vertices in there because they are like overlapping. So now I'm going to use another node, which is the scale geometry. So scale elements. So if I put this into the entire geometry, this is going to scale everything. Let me put it here, otherwise it won't be visible. Okay, so it's going to basically use everything to scale, all the faces actually, to be more specific. While if I use the top selection, it's only going to use, you can see the faces, but it's going to go inside. Let's put this offset to 0 so we can see it properly, and there you go. So this is called inset or internal extrusion. In other software, basically we are putting that extra face inside an existing face, and it's something really useful in polygonal modeling. So this is the way we can get it also in geometry nodes. And now what we can do is delete that, for example. So again, if we go to the geometry and go to operations, we also have different possibilities here. Well, actually, we can delete those other faces. So let's plug these also here and unplug the other one. So this, okay. Instead of points here, we need the face, and we want to select which face, and that's going to be the same faces that are coming from here. So, and now we have here the result. So you can see I've created a frame, and if I want, I can also give it some thickness. So I will add the extrude mesh node, and I'm gonna put it just in here. Okay, and then we can decide which type of frame. If we unplug individual, it's going to create, as you can see, a little bit of offset. We don't want that too much, otherwise it's going to deform. Or maybe, yeah, maybe we like that effect and we want it to increase it a little bit more. So it depends on your needs. Of course, I can always go back and adjust also the framing around and choose the one that we like the most. Now this is probably a little bit smaller for this object, so probably we also need to scale everything up in general. So when we create a bounding box, we need to scale the entire element just a little bit so that that thing is going to fit in there perfectly. And this is many options you have. Now you can delete, and you can also split. So if we go, sorry, let's go here so we can see them all. So if we go to operations, we have, let's go like from the top to the bottom. So merge by distance, sort element, transform geometry, we know that. So we have separate components, and then we have here, sorry about that, separate geometry and split to instance. So these are all for separating parts. So for example, here I could also separate. So there you go. And I can also invert the selection. So instead of deleting, I can reuse that geometry to create the panels. So I have the frame and the panel. So let's do the same connections here. And well, we don't need to extrude the mesh for the panels. I will also add here an extrusion. So let's do like individual. So each one of them is going to be a little frame. So if we go to wireframe, perhaps we see a little bit better about the thickness of that geometry right there. Okay, if we want to readjust, we can also scale them all. So using again the geometry scale. Okay, so we can see those panels perfectly in there. Now we're gonna put some materials in just a minute, but let's check also the convex off. So let's select this, for example, and if I do Shift A, search for convex hull, I can put this inside, and it's gonna create essentially kind of a, again, package all around my object, trying to simplify the parts that are convex, so the corners and everything. So you can see here, if I mute this, you can see it's not